do you think, looking back, if you had your time again, you'd have asked for help?
Yeah, definitely. I'd have asked for help and I'd have definitely knuckled down.
Would you look back on your time growing up, even now? Would you say you had some problems yourself?
Like with depression and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, when I was in Italy, I was very depressed.
Why do Jamaican fans hold a special sentiment for Ravel Morrison? Join Premier 7 right now for the big chat. To exist is to change is to mature is to go on creating oneself endlessly. This is an amazing quote written by Henry Bergson, and this speaks directly to our Jamaican talent in Ravel Morrison. Welcome to Premier 7 yet again, everyone. I am your host, Ryan Nelson. I hope that you all are having a fantastic day, seeing that I was not around for a few days. And I think this Ravel Morrison news, knowing that Ravel Morrison has joined a new club, I think it relates to Premier 7's return. Of course, today on the channel, people, I just want to let you know that the video is all about the topic. Why do Jamaican fans hold a special sentiment for Ravel Morrison? And as you can see, it's in the form of a question. Further on, I will just be bringing across a news flashback, and also, does he deserves a Jamaica recall? But before I do that, people, I have to say massive respect to you for your continuous support on the channel, as I have done a poll surrounding Ravel Morrison with the question: Ravel Morrison, 31, has joined the United Arab Emirates Precision FC team, third tier. Do you believe that this action could help his career in Jamaica restart? From 194 votes, I have to say, people, I really and truly appreciate your participation. Seeing that 74% stated yes, whereas the balance, which is 26%, was split between not sure and no. This shows that the fan base are a huge fan of Ravel Morrison. And I have to say a big shout out to Okido Jackson 5674, who stated, "Bro, all he needs is his fitness back and we're back on track." And I replied to say, "Fair enough comment." And I believe there are persons who agree also with you. So I have to say massive respect to all those persons who continues to show their interest in participating in the polls shared on Premier 7, because with your comments it helps to boost the channel and also to give me ideas surrounding topics that you all are concerned about. People, for me personally, I am impressed to see that Ravel Morrison has been given a chance to play football again, because that was the main thing that we all wanted to see for him. We wanted for Ravel Morrison to get a club, because having a club can provide us with some belief that since he will be playing for a club, then the possibility or the likeliness of him playing back for Jamaica is possible. Yes, it is not the most preferable club that most persons would want to see him playing for, but to kickstart things at a third tier club is a blessing. And I think if all goes well for Ravel Morrison, then you never know what the future holds. So let's have a flashback on the news for Ravel Morrison. As it was stated that Reggae Boys midfielder Ravel Morrison signs with UAE club, and this was published in the Jamaican Observer. I am sure that you guys have an idea of the news feed, but I just like to refresh and reiterate what was being said. So, Reggae Boys midfielder Ravel Morrison has joined United Arab Emirates third tier club Precision FC. Hmm, that is brilliant. So, this is more than a signing, it's a statement, a game changer for both our club and football in the UAE. Known for his electrifying talent and skills, Ravel brings world class experience and flair that will help our team to achieve its goal. This is the start of something extraordinary, the club said in a statement on Instagram. Is this a reflection? Is this something that shows that Ravel Morrison, even though he is said or believed to be coming to make a difference in the UAE, can this revitalize his career in the Jamaican setup? I am sure that you guys have an idea of players who came out of retirement and had an impact on the pitch, coming back to their clubs to make an impact. For example, Paul Scholes, who retired and came back to Manchester United. Look at Tony Cruz, who retired and came back to play for Germany. It's not a case to say that Ravel Morrison has retired, but he was not pushed aside, but he was placed aside, seeing that he did not have a club for the national team and he was not that person who will be selected without such. A lot of persons believe in him. I think he's rusty, but you never know what impressive actions he can put on spot for the national team. And I'm not here to bash the player. I am here to support the players. I am here to see what best Jamaican can do because I am not tired to stress it that we need to go to the FIFA World Cup. And with Ravel Morrison in the mixture, if all goes well surrounding his fitness, then who knows what he can bring. Now, Ravel Morrison, does he deserve a Jamaica recall? It depends. It really and truly depends. Because for me personally, I would not look on the club that he's playing for in full details, even though I will have to assess it. We want the best of the best players to play for Jamaica, right? And it is better to me when your players are in a competitive league that is of a higher caliber that can give us that conviction to say, well, if he's playing in this competition or in this part of the world, let's say the European top five leagues, then you can be more believed in his talent to play for the national team. With Ravel Morrison playing in the UAE is not a place that we would say it's known for football. Maybe if he was playing for Saudi Arabia, it would be more convincing. So at this point, to me personally, I don't think Ravel Morrison is up to par to play for Jamaica, but it's likely that he can play for Jamaica. But when persons believe that if he's being recalled for Jamaica, he can be a game changer. But that is just the ideology to me or the belief in him. But he have to be up to par to play for the national colors. You know, we can see that Ravel Morrison have the talent. We know that Ravel Morrison can bring a difference to Jamaica. And the thing is, we don't want to go back to the past because the past is something that can change our mind. We want to stick to now. It's like talking about an old time artist having that capability to come back and dominate dancehall. But it will not be so easy if that person cannot adjust to the modern day way of how dancehall is running. Speaking about top artists right now like a Valiant, a Craft, Massacre, Chronic Law. I don't think you can say a bounty killer can just come and just dominate the dancehall sector. Maybe he will somewhat have an impact, but he can flop. It's the same thing to me with Ravel Morrison. Things and times change surrounding how football is being played, and adaptability is something that players have to have. And knowing that the football fixtures are really and truly rough these days, seeing that from the last World Cup that was being played, there are a lot more games that are being played. And Ravel Morrison, if he's up to par, would do well, according to some persons who believes in his talent. And I will not throw aside anyone's ideology because that is how I learn. I learn from person's opinion. If Ravel Morrison is up to par and he can come in and do a cameo, then Jamaica will be in a better position to go to the World Cup. But how fast can Ravel Morrison build up on this? It's like talking about how fast can Vibes Cartel build up for a show that will be kept in December. I don't think we will see a Vibes Cartel like back then, but with all goes well, Vibes Cartel can or may not be the Vibes Cartel that we all believe he can be at this point. So it's the same thing again with Ravel Morrison. Is a player up for a question. Some persons would say Tarek McGee deserves a chance to play in the national colours. Because everyone is entitled to their opinions, but I believe that even though we all are entitled to our opinions, let's add proper discussion, proper reasoning to our selections. The thing is, players who are of better quality in better form, I think they should be the ones to represent, not based on talent, because talent is something that many persons do have, but it doesn't match up to what is expected. So, people, it is a topic that I saw is being swinging left and right, and persons are hitting the nail on the head. But Premier Seven was absent for a while, and Premier Seven decides to come back on board to at least share something on the topic because I think you guys would like to hear what I have to say. And for me personally, I want to speak on Ravel Morrison. But for me, I think time is a master, but how soon? Think he have what it takes if he hits his fitness, but it is about when. So, people, what is your say on the topic though? Why do Jamaican fans hold a special sentiment for Ravel Morrison? People just naturally like Ravel Morrison, it seems, and he's one of the best talent that ever passed through Jamaica. Not to say that he was born here, as we all know, but to represent Jamaica. But the sentiment is good, but do not let the emotion trip us. Let it be known that this guy, he have what it takes and he is up to par to play for the country. And then you can have a better way of looking on things. But the love for the player will not be dished aside because it's how persons feel. But for me personally, feelings is not what play the game entirely. It has to be balanced with other stuffs. But people, I want to hear what you have to say surrounding the importance of this topic. And you all know that Premier 7 will be on board to respond in the best way possible without being biased, arrogant, or ignorant. So people take care until we meet again.